Every nation has a story. Every culture has a voice. Every person has the power to inspire the world. Across oceans, across borders, across languages, we are united by one thing: our shared humanity. Welcome to Global Voices, where conversations cross continents, ideas inspire change, and every voice matters. I am Patricia Peters, and together with my co host, Farah Nisha Silva, we are building bridges of hope, understanding, and opportunity, one conversation at a time. So, wherever you're joining from today, thank you for being here. Welcome to Global Voices. One world, many voices, endless possibilities. I can't hear you, Farah.
Okay, can you hear me now? I think I
Yes.
went frozen. Oh, all right, so hello everyone, and welcome to everyone. It's tonight for me, and good morning for Patricia. Um, Before we start, I apologize. I think my network has slowly started to not play the game. Not my friend today. I did freeze for a while, so when I do freeze, I do apologize. But welcome everyone to another episode of Global Voices Live. I'm one of your hosts, Farah, and I'm also excited that you are joining with us today. And for those who are here or new here, Global Voices Live is a space where we share real conversations about life, growth, challenges, mindset, and the experiences that shape who we are and who we become. So today I am joined by my amazing co-host Patricia. Patricia, thank you for being here with us today. Before we begin, we would love to know where everyone here is joining us from. Drop your comments, your countries in our comment section. We love seeing how far our conversation reach and connecting with people from different cultures and backgrounds. Now, today's topic is one that I think many people need to hear, which is your next chapter won't look like your last. And the reason we chose this topic is because sometimes we get so caught up in who we've been, what we've experienced, or what has happened in our past that we always forget something very important. Your past is your past of your story, but
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be the ending. So, what I mean by that is, life changes, people change, circumstances change, and we are allowed to change too. And maybe, you've experienced setbacks. Maybe you've had to start again. Maybe you went through seasons where things didn't go according to plan, which is a lot of the times. But one thing we believe is that every ending can create space for new beginning. A new chapter. A chapter doesn't mean, forgetting who you are, where you came from. It means taking everything you've learned, the lessons, the resilience, the strengths, and using it to create something different. I think and believe this conversation is especially powerful because as women, as a woman from ethnic background, many of us have carried, many of us have carried expectations about who we should be, what success should look like, and what path we should follow. But what if there was more? What if your chapter is actually where you discover a stronger, more confident version of yourself? Today, Patricia and I are going to talk about reintervention, starting your life all over again, your scenario all over again, just really simply starting and why it's never too late to create a different future. So, Patricia, I would love for you to start. I would love to start with you. When you think about say, different chapters of your life, was there a moment where you realized I am ready for something different?
Absolutely, Farah. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. And today's topic is your next chapter wouldn't look like your last. And, with that question, Farah, I just want to say thank you so much. And I'm so happy to be here this morning in New York at 5 a.m. and Farah is in New Zealand at 9 p.m. And as you were speaking, something came to my mind, Farah. Have you ever noticed that when you finish reading a book, you never judge the entire story by just one chapter? If chapter 3 is full of pain, you keep reading.
Mm.
If chapter 7 is full of disappointment, you keep reading because you know the author isn't finished yet. So, why do we judge our own lives by one painful chapter? Some of you who are listening to us this morning or tonight, and you've convinced yourself, I am too old. I missed my chance. I made too many mistakes. That is just the way my life is. No, that's not your life. That's just a chapter. A chapter has a beginning, a chapter has an ending, but it is not the whole book. I know what it feels like to believe life is settled. I left my country with dreams. I work hard. I became a teacher, a nanny, a banker, a trainer, a lead trainer for a major green energy company. Then one day, life turned the page. I lost my job. For a moment, I could have believed that chapter was the end of my story. But then something happened. My daughter's car broke down. The repair was in the thousands. That wasn't just a broken car, that was my wake up call. I realized my paycheck wasn't enough. I realized I needed another chapter, not because I failed, but because life was inviting me to grow. Here's what I learned: starting over doesn't mean starting from nothing. You're starting with experience, you're starting with wisdom, you're starting with scars that have become lessons, you're starting with courage you didn't even know you had. There is an old Chinese proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Think about that. The tree doesn't complain that it's late, it simply started growing. Maybe tonight is your today. Maybe tonight is the night or this morning you stop rereading the same painful chapter and decide to write a new one because your future doesn't care about how your last chapter ended, as Farah said. It only cares whether you're willing to turn the pages. So I want to leave everyone with this question. If your life were a book, would the next chapter inspire someone to keep reading? Because I believe your greatest chapter has not yet been written.
Thank you, Patricia. Can you hear me fine?
Yes, lovely.
Yes. Okay. Oh, thank you. That was beautiful. And I absolutely love what you said about, turning your chapter over doesn't necessarily mean you're starting all over again. And it kind of reminds me of, if you have a favorite book or
Hmm.
series that you follow,
Yeah.
and sometimes you love one book or one series, next thing you know, there's another. So
Hmm.
life kind of works like that. It's not just one chapter each in a book. Sometimes you have to write multiple books to get to the end. So I suppose
Right.
life is something like that. So
Hmm.
I absolutely love what you said, and I do think that it's so important. People need to remember that you're, and also how sometimes they have stories or books where a book says this, but when you remake it into a movie, the stories don't align. So I
Hmm.
think people really, really need to remember that you can, yes, you have your book, your history, but you can showcase your movie the way you want to showcase in whatever vision. And one day this vision meant something, but when you show the world or to yourself, it's very different. So yeah, so Absolutely love that, and I hope people do remember that. And when we do talk about new chapters, people often think that they have to become a completely different person, but that's not true. You are bringing everything with you, good, bad, ugly, your experiences, your
Mhm.
challenges, your skills, your story.
Yep.
For me personally, I've learned that sometimes life can be in a way where it can change at any stage. One day you think everything's going fine. In next minute something's happened, or even a loss of someone that you dearly love, and you think life is going well. One moment turns your whole life, your whole story upside down, and you have to rewrite it. So
Mhm.
sometimes when we think that we have to follow a straight path, go to school, go get a job like we have, do your 9 to 5, and stay on the path, or you have to stay on that path forever. You don't. But life doesn't always, in simple world, life doesn't work like that. Like if you, for instance, if you lose your job, which you never thought you would, so that really throws you off your whole game plan or your plan for your life that you think you might have had. Sometimes the realities, circumstances changes. Our priority changes. Sometimes we discover a new vision of ourselves that we didn't even know existed. And I always say this, and I said this in one of my live yesterday, that it's okay. It's absolutely okay. A new chapter doesn't mean that your previous chapters weren't valuable. They prepared you for today, for tomorrow. Every challenge you've become or overcome, has built within you, either we like it or not. And sometimes we can't see it, especially, when you're falling apart, you're crying and whatnot. Every difficult season has taught you something. Every
Mhm.
moment where you thought you couldn't continue has shown you that you are stronger than you realize. One thing I've learned is that we should never underestimate what is possible when we're really, really willing to grow. Because the person you are today doesn't have to be the same person you were 5 years ago, or even, I don't know, 2, 3 months ago. Because you can learn, you can change, you can start all over again, you can create something different. Your story, our story, it's isn't finished. And maybe that chapter you're stepping into is not the one you've been waiting for. So something for everyone to think about, that we think this is what life looks like. One little thing can change everything, and that might not what be your last story or last series, last movie may look like for your life.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, wouldn't you agree, Patricia?
Absolutely, guys. Every stages in our life, we go through experiences, situations, and circumstances. But we don't have to end our lives with bad situations, bad circumstances. We can change from all of that. We can take the next chapter to the next level, right? Who would have thought at 56, I'm going to be 56 soon. At 56, I am hosting shows like Global Voices, Chat with Pat, Chit Chat with Pat and Jackie, and Kingdom Global Entrepreneurs. Who would ever think that a woman from Guyana, as a little girl growing up, moving to the United States, would ever do something like that? I never thought that. But as we grow, we live, we learn, and we build our chapters in our book. So your life is a beautiful story, chapter by chapter. Sometimes you go through tough times, easy times, happy times. Now I'm building the exciting, the fun, the most beautiful times of my chapter. And you can do the same as well. And are we closing right, Farah?
Yes, yes, we are.
And as we close today's Global Voices live, we want to leave with you this reminder. Your past may have shaped you, but it does not have to limit you. You're allowed to grow. You are allowed to change.
Mm.
You are allowed to create a new chapter. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. What matters is that you're willing to take the next step. So we want to leave with you this question. What chapter are you ready to begin? Maybe it's a personal goal. Maybe it's a new opportunity. Maybe it's simply believing in yourself again. Whatever it is, remember that your story is still being written. Thank you so much for joining Farah and me today for Global Voices. If this conversation resonates with you, share it with someone who may need to hear this as a reminder. And if you've been watching our journey and want to connect with us, we would love to hear from you. Until next time, remember, your next chapter has potential to be your most powerful one yet. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Farah.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, and we're looking forward to having you on the next live next Monday morning at 5 a.m. and Kiwi time, 9 p.m. My co-host is not feeling well, but consistency is the key to success. She is here, guys. She made it. So, big shout out from New York to the Kiwis
New Zealand.
Yes, and I think we're having a hot cricket game against you guys, South America. West Indies against New Zealand. I think there's a cricket match going on between.
I don't follow cricket at all. All I've been hearing about is soccer, and at our work today.
Oh, the World Cup! Spain won the World Cup, guys. Yes.
Well, in our meeting today, we have all these people, all these males with their phones out watching soccer in the middle of the meeting. They're like, "Yay, so and so won," and we're like, "Okay, this is what we do at work now."
So, what's your best sport, Farah?
At the moment, it's the FIFA World Cup that's been going, and otherwise it's rugby that you hear largely about. Or when cricket is happening, that's another big thing, but I do not follow that.
Oh, so what's your favorite sport?
Look, I think growing up was always rugby. So I'm from Fiji, so rugby was always very important. And yes, soccer as well, but we've never been brought up around cricket.
Oh no, cricket is a big thing for us, but I adopted tennis when I came to this country. And I've been watching tennis for years. I love tennis. I even played tennis in the park summertime. So, yes, tennis and cricket, my two favorites. But much said about sports tonight. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys next Monday morning and Monday night for another episode of Global Voices. Thank you, everyone, and have a beautiful night and a lovely Monday morning in New York. Bye.
Have a blessed one.
Yeah.
Thank you, beautiful souls, for joining us tonight on Global Voices. Your presence means the world to us. Two women bridging continents, cultures, and communities with one shared vision: abundance, family, and legacy. This is just the beginning of something fresh and transformative. Stay connected, stay inspired, and keep walking with us as we build freedom and purpose together. From our hearts to yours, thank you for being part of the Global Voices movement.